Hello everyone, it's Sheila back again with another tutorial. This time I'm going to show how to do this stitch. I think the proper name for this is Irish moss stitch, but I've just called it double moss stitch because it's ordinary moss stitch but double the number of rows. So I'm going to show how I do this one. And again, I've got an odd number of stitches so that you start and finish with the same stitch. The last two rows, these have started and ended with knit, but as I'm doing two rows, this is going to be a purl stitch over the knit stitch. So I'm doing purl, one purl and one knit. So I'm doing the opposite to what's there. Instead of a knit, I'm doing a purl. And so on, purl and knit over the purl stitch. It's exactly the same as the last tutorial for the moss stitch, except we're doing two rows of those stitches. I'm on to the last two stitches, and my last stitch is a purl. And as you can see there, that's the purl over the knit and the knit over the purl. And now we're going to do the second row. And as we want to do the same, to keep it for two rows, the same as what we've just done, we start with a knit this time. So it's knit one, purl one, and that's all it is, knit one, purl one across the row. I'll pull a little bit wool out here. Oops, missed that one off. My last two stitches again. My last stitch is a knit one. And there now you can see the two rows of the knit and the two rows of the purl in between. There's actually 4 rows to the pattern. Those are the first 2 rows. And then the next 2 rows where they have pearl at each end, you start with knit. Exactly as what you were doing before, only you just start with a different stitch every other row. My last couple of stitches again, that's purl stitch and ending with a knit stitch. And that's how the pattern goes. It's changing every 2 rows, and it's another nice pattern. But for some reason with this pattern, I don't know why, it's if you look at the stitches, how they go across like that. When you knit pieces, the pattern seems to lean over the way those lines go, and I have not been able to work out how to alter that. But it doesn't make any difference when all the pieces are knitted and sewn up. You don't get them, the knitting doesn't go that way, but while you're knitting, that's what happens. The knitting seems to follow those lines across that way. And the only thing I can do is when I do a rib, to counteract it, when I do a rib, say if I'm going to do a 16 rows of rib on the bottom of a sweater, I would only do 15 on one side, and that would make the those lines go the opposite way, so when you put them together they would both be the same. Otherwise you get one pattern going that way and another piece sticks out on the other side. It's hard to explain. You would have to knit it yourself and see what I meant. But that's my little tutorial for today. So if you'd like to see more, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And thank you for watching.